Welcome to ISTQB Back to Basics, presented by 294 Australia. This short-form video series aims to go through all the points of the ISTQB Foundation syllabus, giving you supporting information and examples based on industry experience. Being the first in the series, we will go through the very first point: what is testing? In order for us to help you understand what testing is, we will first challenge your assumption of when testing starts. When do you think testing starts? Does it start when the development is finished? No. Most people who haven't worked in quality assurance and testing before assume that you can only test something once it has been fully developed. This is a large misunderstanding and becomes very costly, which we will speak about in a later video. If it doesn't start when development is finished, then maybe it starts when a portion of the development is finished. For example, once an isolated development is completed, then we will test this part independent of the other parts that haven't been developed. While this would be better, this is still too late to start testing. So if testing once a portion of the development is finished is too late, then we'll have to start testing while the development is ongoing, testing an incomplete code. No, this is still too late. Then we'll have to start testing the moment the development has started. If development hasn't even started, what could we otherwise test? Well, before development even starts, there are concepts, business cases, business requirements, technical specifications, and a number of other ideas and documents that come before development. And yes, we want to test all of these documents, and we want to start testing as early as possible. But how? How can we test so early? How can we test a document or an idea? This leads on to the second set of questions before we answer what is testing. What most people think when they think of testing is referred to as dynamic testing. We will go into this in more detail later, but for now, know that dynamic testing is what occurs when you start playing with the software and trying to break it. You enter some information into the software and you see what comes out. But there is another type of testing called static testing. Dynamic implies movement and change, while static implies no movement or change, which is correct. When a publisher reads a news article and makes changes to it, they are testing the article or performing quality assurance. If a mathematician reviews another mathematical paper, searching for mistakes in the calculation, then he is performing a quality check or a test on the proposed concept listed within that paper. This is the idea of a static test. So with a very basic understanding between the two types of testing, usually the majority of the static tests will be performed before the majority of the dynamic tests can be performed, which is why testing can start earlier than first imagined. So finally, what is testing? As is written in the ISTQB handbook, software testing is a way to assess the quality of the software and to reduce the risk of software failure in operation. So the goal of testing is to reduce errors or software failures from occurring once the software is sent for daily use by clients and employees. What I would like you to take away from this is we are trying to reduce the risk that something goes wrong in the final product. And we can have an impact on this through the entire process, starting from the conception through to the final development and deployment. This is done through static testing, through dynamic testing, testing requirements and other documents, concepts and ideas, testing during the development, testing after each stage of development, and testing the final product in its entirety. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.